Educating your mind isn't optional anymore. It's survival in a world that's moving faster every day, because if you're not learning, you're falling behind while others are leveling up. Educate yourself every day, because every skill you build now is one less excuse you'll have later. Educate your mind like your future depends on it, because every decision you make, every opportunity you recognize, and every challenge you overcome starts with how you think. What if you could educate yourself every single day and it put you years ahead of everyone else? What if just a few minutes of focused learning could give you the edge you've been missing? While most people waste time scrolling or watching mindless content, what if you used that time to build real knowledge, skills, and confidence? Here's the truth. Most people stop learning after school. They settle into routines and never stretch their thinking again. That's why they stay stuck. But the ones who keep learning on purpose are the ones who grow faster, solve problems better, and open doors others never even see. This isn't about being a genius. It's about choosing to grow every single day. If you're ready to take control of your future and outgrow your limits, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Read one book summary every single day. Most people wake up tired, not just physically but mentally. They reach for their phones first thing in the morning, scrolling through meaningless content, half asleep, looking for something to stimulate them. Hours go by, and they still feel empty, like the day is already ahead of them and they're playing catch-up. They drag themselves through the same routine, do the same things, feel the same stress, and then they wonder why nothing ever changes. They feel stuck. Not because they lack potential, but because they're not feeding their minds. If you don't feed your mind, you starve your future. You fall behind without even realizing it, and you start to believe that where you are is the best it gets. But that's not true. You're capable of more, much more. You just have to start putting the right fuel into your mind every single day. One of the simplest, most powerful habits you can build is reading one book summary every single day. And I'm not talking about reading for entertainment. I'm not talking about fiction or fairy tales. I'm talking about the kind of books that teach you how life works, how money works, how your brain works, how people work. Books that help you understand your emotions, your habits, your potential. These summaries give you access to years, sometimes decades of a person's wisdom and experience, compressed into just a few pages. And you can read one in 15 minutes. Think about that. Just 15 minutes to learn something that took someone else 20 years to figure out. That's not just learning. That's leverage. You see, most people tell themselves they don't have time to read. But they spend hours watching shows, arguing online, or thinking about things they can't control. Time isn't the problem. Priority is. If something is important enough, you make time for it. And there's nothing more important than your mind. Your mind is your greatest asset. If you don't invest in it, you lose by default. You don't stay the same. You either grow or fall behind. The world keeps moving, whether you do or not. Reading book summaries daily is not about rushing through information. It's about opening your eyes. It's about exposing yourself to new ways of thinking. It's about constantly reminding yourself that you haven't arrived, that there's always something new to learn. Every book summary you read plants a seed. One teaches you how to think more clearly. Another shows you how to lead. Another teaches you how to manage stress. Another gives you ideas about building wealth. Over time, those seeds grow. They reshape how you think. And when your thinking changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your life begins to change. Think about this. If you read one summary a day, that's 365 summaries in a year. That's 365 different voices pouring wisdom into your mind. That's 365 chances to learn something you didn't know before. If you do that, you won't recognize yourself a year from now. You'll think faster, speak clearer, and see opportunities others don't even notice. You'll become the kind of person people come to for answers. Not because you know everything, but because you made it a daily habit to keep learning. And it's not just about knowledge, it's about confidence. When you read every day, you start to carry yourself differently. You walk into conversations with more presence. You handle setbacks with more strength. You don't panic every time something doesn't go your way. Why? Because you've trained your mind. You've given yourself tools. Most people react based on emotion. But when you've read hundreds of summaries and learned from the minds of the greatest thinkers, you start responding instead of reacting. You make choices based on wisdom, not panic. That's power. Now here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to read an entire book every day. That's not realistic for most people. But a summary? That's doable. You can read one while you drink your coffee. You can read one on your commute. You can read one before you go to bed. And you don't even need a fancy app. There are free websites, channels, and platforms that give out book summaries every day. Knowledge is everywhere. It's never been more accessible. The question is, are you reaching for it? You see, success doesn't come from one big action. It comes from small, smart actions repeated over time. Reading one book summary might not seem like a big deal today. But do it for a month, then 2, then 6. Watch how your mind sharpens. Watch how your conversations change. Watch how people start noticing something different about you. That's the result of daily learning. That's what it means to stay ahead of 99% of people. Not because you're better, but because you made a choice most people won't make. You chose growth. Every day. And you know what's even more powerful? When you read, you start connecting dots others can't see. You hear a problem and your mind brings up a solution from something you read last week. You hear someone struggling and you remember a book summary that offers a path forward. You're no longer limited to your own experience. You're tapping into the minds of hundreds of authors, thinkers, and leaders. You become a student of life, and life begins to open up to you in ways it never did before. If you feel stuck right now, this is your way out. If you feel behind, this is how you catch up. If you feel like life is moving too fast, this is how you slow it down and take control again. One book summary at a time. One day at a time. You don't need to figure everything out today. You just need to start feeding your mind daily. And watch what happens when you do. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be a different person. But if you stick with this every day, one summary, you'll build momentum. You'll look back and see that the small habit you started became the foundation for everything else. Because once you start learning consistently, you start believing in yourself again. And when you believe in yourself, you begin to take action. Not from fear, not from pressure, but from purpose. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. Commit to feeding your mind every single day. Read one book summary. Take in the lessons. Apply what fits. Ignore what doesn't. Just keep going. This is how you begin to rise. Quietly, steadily, day by day. While the world gets distracted, you get focused. While others are complaining, you're learning. While they waste time, you invest it. Chapter 2. Watch one expert interview and take notes. Most people spend their time listening to noise. Not real conversation, not genuine learning. They listen to people who offer opinions but no experience. Or they tune into podcasts and interviews without really paying attention. Their minds wander, and by the time it's over, they remember nothing useful. This is the truth that stops most from growing. They think listening is enough, but it's not. Passive listening leaves the mind empty. What makes the difference is how you engage with what you hear. Listening without action is like planting a seed in barren soil. It won't grow. To move forward, you must listen actively and capture the wisdom shared. Watching one expert interview each day and taking notes is a practice that turns your time into a powerful learning session. It changes everything. Experts have spent years, often decades, mastering their craft. They have walked through trials and failures. They understand the landscape better than most. By watching their interviews, you gain direct access to their mindset and experience. This is not second-hand information or random advice. This is real knowledge coming from people who have succeeded. When you watch these interviews, you are placing yourself alongside them mentally. You get to hear their strategies, their mistakes, and their breakthroughs. This exposure shifts your thinking from average to advanced. It sparks ideas that you won't find in textbooks or generic advice columns. Taking notes during these interviews is where most people fail. Watching without taking notes is like seeing a map but not marking your route. Notes make the knowledge tangible. They turn passive hearing into active learning. When you write, you focus better. Your mind engages deeper. You pick up on details you would otherwise miss. Writing down key points forces you to organize your thoughts. It helps you identify practical steps that apply to your life. You are not just absorbing information, you are creating a personalized guide to success. These notes become a reference you can return to when you face challenges or need motivation. This daily practice creates a powerful routine. One interview may seem small, but its impact compounds. After a month, you will have collected dozens of insights from some of the sharpest minds in the world. These ideas build on each other, creating a mental library that changes how you approach problems. You begin to think in solutions, not obstacles. You start noticing patterns and principles that others overlook. This awareness makes you smarter and more resourceful. It prepares you to handle difficult situations with confidence instead of fear. It is important to choose the right experts. Not every voice is worth your time. Some talk a lot but say very little. Some are motivated by selling something rather than sharing truth. Be selective. Look for people with proven track records, people who walk their talk, those who have real achievements in the areas you want to grow. Follow their interviews regularly. This builds familiarity with their methods and philosophies. You begin to understand their mindset deeply, which helps you adopt the habits that made them successful. Surrounding your mind with quality input is as crucial as surrounding your life with quality people. Watching these interviews also trains your emotional resilience. Experts often share stories of failure and hardship. Hearing how they overcame adversity changes your perspective on your own struggles. It shows you that setbacks are part of the process, not the end of the road. Their journeys remind you that success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning and growing through it. This shift in mindset reduces fear and builds persistence. It gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Another powerful benefit is that taking notes helps you remember and apply what you learn. Memory is tricky. We often forget valuable lessons unless we revisit and reflect on them. Your notes act like a bridge between hearing and doing. Reviewing your notes regularly refreshes your mind and keeps important ideas alive. This habit turns information into action. When you apply what you learn, your life starts to change. Your decisions improve. Your relationships grow stronger. Your career moves ahead. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary by committing to daily learning and consistent action. Many people avoid this because it requires effort. Watching an interview and taking notes means you have to focus. You have to pause distractions. You have to think critically. It is easier to passively scroll or watch mindless entertainment. But easy habits lead to average results. If you want to stand out, you must do what others will not. That means sacrificing temporary comfort for long-term gain. It means making learning a priority, not an afterthought. It means investing in yourself every single day, even when motivation is low or the day is busy. It is also important to make your note-taking organized and useful. Don't just jot down random facts. Capture key ideas, actionable steps, and personal reflections. Write questions that come up as you listen. This turns your notes into a dialogue with the expert, a conversation that deepens your understanding. Use your notes to plan your next actions. What can you do today based on what you learned? This keeps the momentum alive. Learning without action is wasted energy. Action turns knowledge into results. Imagine how far ahead you will be if you commit to this habit. You will carry the wisdom of top achievers in your mind. You will be prepared for opportunities when they come. You will avoid common mistakes because you already learned from others' experiences. Your confidence will grow because you know you are continuously improving. Life will feel less overwhelming because you have a toolkit of strategies to rely on. You will begin to attract people who value growth and excellence, creating a positive cycle of success. Finally, watching expert interviews and taking notes is a way of training your brain to think bigger. When you hear powerful ideas, your own thinking expands, your imagination grows. You start to dream not just about what is, but about what could be. You gain the courage to pursue goals that once felt impossible. This habit becomes a foundation for a mindset of abundance, creativity, and determination. You become someone who looks at challenges and sees opportunities, Someone who is ready to lead, not just follow. Someone who is prepared to write their own story, not live in someone else's shadow. This habit requires discipline and commitment. It is not about perfection but consistency. There will be days when focus is hard, when life distracts you. But returning to this habit keeps your mind sharp and your spirit strong. The small daily effort will compound into extraordinary results. This is the path of growth. The path of those who refuse to settle for less. The path of those who choose to stay ahead of 99% of people by learning from the best every single day. Chapter 3. Listen to educational podcasts during daily routines. Many people feel trapped by their busy schedules. They think learning requires setting aside special time, which they simply do not have. This belief keeps them stuck. The truth is, you already have pockets of time every day that can become powerful learning moments. The time spent driving, cleaning, exercising, or even waiting can be transformed into valuable opportunities if you listen to educational podcasts. Podcasts offer a unique chance to absorb knowledge without demanding extra time from your day. When you make it a habit to listen to educational content during these everyday tasks, you turn wasted minutes into progress. This simple change creates a foundation for growth that many overlook. The biggest challenge is to shift your mindset about routine tasks. They often feel like chores or interruptions, moments when your mind drifts to distractions or worries. But when you consciously decide to feed your mind with something meaningful during these times, the experience changes. Suddenly, a drive through traffic is no longer wasted energy. It becomes a moment of learning, inspiration, and new ideas. You are making use of time that usually disappears without notice. This is how successful people stretch their hours. They find ways to grow while doing what others see as just passing time. Podcasts bring you close to experts and thinkers from every field. Whether you want to improve your business skills, deepen your understanding of psychology, or develop habits for better health, there is a podcast for that. The variety is immense and the quality has never been higher. Experts share stories, research, strategies, and practical advice. Listening to them regularly exposes you to different perspectives. It broadens your thinking. It builds your vocabulary and sharpens your focus. You learn without pressure in a natural flow, making the process enjoyable and sustainable. Many people underestimate the power of repetition. Hearing ideas spoken aloud repeatedly helps you internalize concepts in a way that reading alone cannot achieve. When you listen to podcasts regularly, important lessons sink deeper into your mind. You start recalling them more easily. Your brain connects new ideas to your existing knowledge. This strengthens your ability to apply what you learn. The more you listen, the clearer your thinking becomes. The better you understand complex topics, the more confident you feel tackling challenges. Listening becomes a mental workout that improves your capacity to solve problems and innovate. There is also an emotional benefit to this habit. Hearing passionate voices talk about their expertise or personal journeys can ignite your own motivation. When someone describes how they overcame hardship or achieved a breakthrough, it resonates with you. It reminds you that progress is possible even when things feel difficult. These stories act like fuel for your spirit. They boost your resilience and encourage you to keep going. This emotional connection makes learning not just a mental activity, but a heart-driven experience. It helps you stay committed when obstacles arise. Effective listening requires more than just hearing words. It demands attention and reflection. Treat podcast time as a dedicated learning session. Avoid multitasking too much. Instead, focus on absorbing the message. Think about how the ideas apply to your life. Pause when necessary to let important points sink in. If you listen while walking or exercising, notice how your body feels and how your mind responds. This active engagement strengthens your memory and comprehension. It turns listening from a passive act into a powerful tool for transformation. Taking notes during or after listening enhances this process further. Writing down key insights forces your brain to process information actively. It creates a record you can revisit anytime. Your notes help you track patterns, challenges, and breakthroughs in your learning journey. They also encourage accountability. When you see your progress written down, you stay motivated to continue. This simple practice makes learning tangible and actionable. Without it, valuable lessons can easily slip through your mind unnoticed. This habit also rewires your brain toward curiosity. As you listen daily, you begin asking more questions. You seek out deeper explanations and explore related topics. This natural curiosity expands your knowledge base and sharpens your critical thinking. It helps you move beyond surface understanding to genuine mastery. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to crave learning. You become someone who looks for opportunities to grow, not excuses to avoid it. Making podcasts part of your routine requires discipline. It is tempting to choose entertainment or distractions instead. But those choices do not build your future. If you want to stay ahead, you must prioritize your growth. This means choosing content that challenges and teaches rather than numbs or distracts. Set specific goals about how many podcasts or how much time you will dedicate to this each day. Treat it as an appointment with your future self. Respect that time. Protect it from interruptions. Consistency is key. Listening to educational podcasts once in a while will not create lasting change. The impact comes from daily commitment. When this habit is firmly established, it becomes a source of confidence and knowledge that others do not have. It prepares you to seize opportunities and solve problems with ease. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You no longer see limitations but possibilities. You think bigger and act bolder. The power of this habit lies in its simplicity and accessibility. You do not need expensive courses or books to get started. All you need is a device and willingness to listen. Podcasts fit perfectly into modern life, where time is limited but knowledge is abundant. The real challenge is your choice, to grow or to stay the same, to invest in yourself or to settle for comfort, to listen and learn or to ignore the voices that can guide you to a better life. By making a habit of listening to educational podcasts during your daily routines, you unlock a steady stream of learning that others miss. You transform ordinary moments into stepping stones toward success. Your mind sharpens, your skills improve, your confidence grows, your vision expands. This habit becomes a catalyst for personal transformation, pushing you past the average and into a future defined by progress and achievement. No one else can do this for you. Your future depends on the choices you make today. When you use your time wisely, when you listen and absorb knowledge consistently, you build a foundation that stands firm no matter what life throws your way. This habit is a quiet power, working behind the scenes. It grows silently but steadily, shaping you into the person you aspire to become. It is a habit that separates those who dream from those who do. Choose to be the latter. Start listening with purpose. Start learning with intention. Your future self will thank you for it every single day. Chapter 4. Learn one new skill using online tutorials daily. Most people look at their lives and feel stuck. They want to grow, to get better, but do not know where to start. They wait for the right moment, for motivation to strike, or for someone else to tell them what to do. That waiting often lasts years. The truth is, growth begins when you decide to take control of your learning every single day. You do not have to master everything at once. Learning one new skill daily, even in small steps, builds momentum that transforms your future. The world offers countless resources online. Tutorials are everywhere, ready to teach you almost anything you want. The challenge is to commit to consistent action and use these tools wisely. Learning a new skill means pushing yourself beyond comfort. It requires patience and persistence. You will not be perfect on day 1 or even day 10. Frustration is natural when facing unfamiliar tasks. Most people quit at the first sign of difficulty. They tell themselves they are not capable or that it is too late to start. That mindset keeps them in place. But the reality is, skill is built through effort, practice, and repeated learning. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is the willingness to keep going despite setbacks. Daily progress, even if small, compounds into real ability over time. Online tutorials provide an ideal way to learn because they allow you to control your pace. You can pause, rewind, and revisit parts you do not understand. This is powerful because it fits into your life, not the other way around. You are not limited by classroom schedules or expensive courses. You choose what to learn and when to learn it. This freedom is a game changer if you use it well. Every day, when you decide to spend time mastering a new skill, you invest in yourself. You add tools to your toolbox that prepare you for challenges and opportunities alike. Choosing the right skill is important. It should align with your goals and interests. Skills connected to your personal or professional growth have the biggest impact. Whether it is learning how to manage money better, improving communication, mastering a software program, or developing leadership qualities, each skill adds value. Avoid random learning without purpose. Target your efforts. This makes your progress clearer and your motivation stronger. When you see how a new skill improves your life or work, you feel encouraged to keep going. The process of learning a skill also improves your mindset. It teaches you discipline and focus. It shows you the value of delayed gratification. You learn that success is earned through steady effort, not instant results. Each tutorial you follow requires concentration and commitment. This builds mental toughness. When you encounter difficult tasks, you develop strategies to overcome them. This habit of facing challenges rather than avoiding them spills over into all areas of your life. Your confidence grows because you prove to yourself every day that you can learn and improve. To get the most from online tutorials, approach them actively. Take notes, practice as you learn, and apply the skills immediately. Passive watching or reading is not enough. Engage with the material by doing exercises or working on projects related to the skill. This turns theory into practice, which is the only way real learning happens. The more you practice, the clearer concepts become. Your hands and mind remember what your eyes and ears have absorbed. This active participation creates lasting change, unlike passive consumption that fades quickly from memory. A daily habit of learning new skills also expands your perspective. Exposure to different fields and ideas sparks creativity. You begin to see connections between seemingly unrelated topics. This cross-pollination of knowledge fuels innovation and problem-solving. It prepares you to adapt in a world that is constantly changing. Those who rely on what they already know fall behind, while those who continue to acquire new skills stay relevant and ahead. This continuous learning becomes a shield against uncertainty and a source of opportunity. There will be days when learning feels slow or overwhelming. Life distractions, fatigue, or lack of immediate results can tempt you to quit. This is normal. The key is to push through those moments. Even small actions count. Watching just a few minutes of a tutorial or practicing one step keeps the habit alive. Progress is not always visible daily, but it is happening. Consistency beats intensity. A small amount every day adds up more than occasional bursts of effort. The commitment to keep showing up for your growth is what separates achievers from dreamers. This habit also builds a mindset of self-reliance. When you learn to teach yourself through tutorials, you stop waiting for permission or guidance from others. You develop confidence in your ability to solve problems independently. This independence is essential in all areas of life. It makes you a resourceful person who can navigate uncertainty and seize opportunities. You become a lifelong learner, ready for any challenge that comes your way. Learning new skills daily also boosts your sense of accomplishment. Each completed tutorial or mastered concept gives you a sense of progress. This builds momentum and motivation. You begin to appreciate the power of incremental growth. You realize that even when goals seem far, consistent effort shortens the distance. This mindset pushes you to set higher goals because you trust your ability to learn and adapt. In a world moving faster than ever, learning one new skill every day is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Those who fail to adapt risk being left behind. Those who commit to growth position themselves to lead. This habit becomes a defining characteristic of successful people. It empowers you to take control of your future, create new possibilities, and rise above challenges. Imagine the person you will become a year from now if you commit to this habit right now. Think about how your skills, confidence, and mindset will evolve. You will not be the same person stuck in old patterns. You will be stronger, smarter, and more capable. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be will narrow because you invested in yourself every day. This investment pays the highest dividends in every aspect of life. The first step is to start immediately. Identify a skill that matters to you. Find a reliable online tutorial. Dedicate focused time today to learn and practice. Repeat this daily without exception. Guard this time fiercely against distractions. Celebrate your progress and remind yourself why this matters. This commitment is the foundation of lasting success. The future is shaped by what you do now, not what you wish or hope for. Take control. Learn daily. Grow steadily. Outwork the average person by showing up for your development every day. This is how winners are made. Chapter 5. Write down 3 things you learned each day. Many people go through their days without ever pausing to truly absorb what they have learned. Life moves fast, and information comes at us from every direction. Without a way to capture and reflect on this knowledge, much of it slips away unnoticed. Writing down just 3 things you learned every day is a powerful habit that changes how your mind works. It forces you to pay attention, to organize your thoughts, and to make your learning real. Most people never do this. They think they will remember what is important. The reality is, memory fades quickly unless you make it deliberate. Writing creates a connection between your mind and the knowledge you want to keep. This habit transforms scattered thoughts into clear understanding. Starting this habit can feel simple, but makes a huge difference. Each day, as you take time to write 3 things you learned, you become more aware of the lessons hidden in everyday moments. Sometimes these lessons come from a book, a conversation, or even a mistake. Other times they come from observing the world around you or a new skill you practiced. By committing these insights to paper, you slow down your thinking and reflect deeply. This reflection is where growth begins. You turn raw information into wisdom. You begin to see patterns and connections that were invisible before. Your mind sharpens because it is forced to engage actively, not passively absorb. The act of writing itself has a physical impact on your brain. It strengthens neural pathways linked to memory and comprehension. When you write something down, you reinforce its importance. Your mind treats it as valuable information worth remembering. Over time, this habit builds mental discipline. It trains you to focus and to organize ideas clearly. Many successful people attribute their progress to journaling or note-taking. This is no coincidence. Writing daily creates clarity, reduces mental clutter, and boosts creativity. It helps you make sense of complex challenges by breaking them into smaller, manageable parts. This habit also improves your decision-making. When you review what you learned each day, you naturally compare it against your goals and values. You begin to ask yourself how this knowledge applies to your life and what actions it suggests. This reflection leads to better choices because you are more informed and thoughtful. It stops you from reacting impulsively or repeating old mistakes. Writing creates a feedback loop where learning fuels action and action generates more learning. This continuous cycle builds momentum toward success. Another key benefit is accountability. Writing 3 things daily makes you responsible for your own growth. It is easy to claim you are learning without proof. Putting your insights on paper is evidence of effort. It motivates you to keep going because you see progress tracked clearly. This visible record becomes a source of pride and motivation. When you feel stuck or discouraged, looking back at your notes reminds you how far you have come. It shows that growth is real and ongoing. This boost is crucial during tough times. Writing your daily lessons also enhances communication skills. When you practice expressing thoughts clearly on paper, you improve your ability to explain ideas to others. This skill benefits personal relationships, professional interactions, and even self-talk. You learn to clarify your thinking before speaking or acting. This reduces misunderstandings and increases influence. Clear communication is a foundation for leadership and connection. The more you write, the better you become at sharing your vision and inspiring others. Many people hesitate to start because they think writing takes too much time or they do not know what to write. The truth is, writing 3 things does not require hours. A few focused minutes are enough. The key is consistency, not length. Even a sentence or two per item is effective. The content does not have to be profound at first. What matters is the habit of capturing your learning. Over time, your insights deepen and your writing improves naturally. The discipline of daily practice is more important than the quality of any single entry. This habit also protects against information overload. In today's world, we consume so much content that our minds become overwhelmed. Writing daily distills this flood of information into manageable pieces. It helps you prioritize what is useful and discard what is irrelevant. This filtering ability is critical for staying focused on your goals. It stops you from chasing every new idea without follow-through. Writing keeps your learning intentional and directed, not scattered and superficial. Writing your daily lessons creates a personal library of wisdom. This archive becomes a valuable resource for problem-solving and decision-making. When facing challenges, you can revisit past insights to find solutions. This record also helps track your growth over time. Seeing your own progress builds confidence and reinforces the habit. It reminds you that change happens gradually through consistent effort. This long-term perspective is vital for staying motivated and patient. The emotional impact of writing cannot be overlooked. It allows you to process feelings connected to your learning experience. You may write about struggles, breakthroughs, or moments of clarity. This expression reduces stress and builds resilience. It helps you understand yourself better and develop emotional intelligence. Emotional awareness is as important as intellectual growth for success and fulfillment. Writing daily creates a space for this balance to develop naturally. To make this habit stick, create a routine around it. Choose a specific time and place where you write your 3 lessons every day. It could be in the morning to set the tone for your day, or at night to reflect and close the day thoughtfully. Minimize distractions and treat this time as non-negotiable. Use a notebook, journal app, or any tool that works for you. Experiment until you find a method that feels natural and enjoyable. The goal is to make writing a part of your daily life, not a chore. Writing 3 things you learned daily is a simple but powerful way to take charge of your education. It turns random knowledge into clear insights. It trains your mind to focus and reflect. It builds mental and emotional strength. It creates a record of progress that fuels motivation. This habit connects learning directly to growth and action. It is a tool that separates those who drift through life from those who lead it intentionally. The difference between success and stagnation often comes down to small habits done consistently. Writing your daily lessons is one of those habits. It is accessible, practical, and transformative. It requires no special talent, only commitment. The reward is a sharper mind, a clearer vision, and a stronger sense of purpose. This habit empowers you to stay ahead of most people because it makes learning a deliberate and ongoing process. When knowledge becomes visible through writing, it becomes power. Power that shapes your future and unlocks your potential every single day. Chapter 6. Teach someone else what you just learned. Most people miss one of the most powerful steps in learning. They take in information but keep it all inside their own heads. That is where knowledge often becomes useless. It stays trapped, never fully understood or put into action. Teaching someone else what you just learned is a game changer. It forces your brain to organize and clarify the new information. Explaining ideas to another person turns scattered facts into clear understanding. It reveals gaps in your knowledge and strengthens what you do know. This is not just a tip for students or teachers. It is a key strategy for anyone serious about growth. Many struggle with the feeling that they are not experts or that their knowledge is not valuable enough to share. This thinking holds people back. Teaching does not require mastery. It only requires willingness to share what you understand right now. The process itself deepens learning. When you explain a concept in your own words, your brain creates stronger connections. This makes the knowledge stick longer and become easier to recall. Without this step, much of what you learn slips away quickly. Talking through new ideas is one of the fastest ways to turn information into wisdom. Teaching someone else also improves communication skills. You learn how to break down complex ideas into simple, understandable terms. This clarity benefits your personal and professional life. It makes your conversations more effective and your influence stronger. The practice of teaching builds confidence because you see that you can add value to others. Even if you are sharing with a friend, a family member, or a coworker, the impact is real. You grow as a person and help someone else grow too. This creates a positive cycle of knowledge sharing that benefits everyone involved. Another important aspect is accountability. When you teach, you commit to understanding the material well enough to explain it. This accountability motivates you to learn more deeply and accurately. It prevents superficial reading or watching. You become more intentional about your study time. The idea that someone else will rely on you encourages preparation and focus. This pressure is positive because it drives better learning habits. The responsibility to teach ensures you do not waste your time with half-hearted effort. Teaching also builds stronger relationships. Sharing knowledge creates connection and trust. People respect those who help them improve and learn. It positions you as a resource and a leader within your community. This social capital opens doors for opportunities in business, career, and life. The act of teaching strengthens bonds because it is an expression of care and generosity. It goes beyond selfish gain and shows that you value the growth of others. This mindset builds lasting respect and support. The process of teaching someone else reveals your blind spots. When you try to explain something, unclear points become obvious. This is a chance to revisit the material and fill in gaps. It pushes you to ask better questions and seek deeper answers. This reflective cycle enhances critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Instead of passively consuming knowledge, you become an active learner. This active stance prepares you to adapt and innovate, not just repeat what you have heard. Teaching encourages creativity. When you explain ideas to different people, you discover new ways to present information. You tailor your communication to their level and interests. This flexibility improves your ability to connect and inspire. Creative teaching also keeps the process enjoyable. It turns learning from a chore into an engaging activity. This positive attitude towards growth leads to long-term success and satisfaction. Most people underestimate the power of teaching because they do not see immediate results. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that learning is only about absorbing new facts. The truth is that real learning is demonstrated through action, and teaching is action. When you share knowledge, you are actively participating in your own education. This engagement strengthens memory and understanding. It is like exercising a muscle. The more you teach, the stronger your mind becomes. Making teaching a regular habit requires effort. You need to find opportunities to share what you learn. This could be as simple as telling a friend about a new idea or explaining a concept at work. Joining a study group or starting a blog or social media channel focused on your learning are other ways. The medium does not matter as much as the act of sharing. The more you practice teaching, the easier and more natural it becomes. Over time, this habit turns into a powerful tool for continuous growth. The emotional benefits of teaching are significant. Helping someone else understand something gives a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It creates moments of connection that feed your motivation. When you see someone grow because of your guidance, it reinforces your own progress. This feedback loop is energizing and encouraging. It pushes you to keep learning and sharing. Teaching transforms knowledge from a solitary activity into a shared journey of improvement. There will be challenges. You may face questions you cannot answer or moments when you doubt your abilities. This is normal and part of the growth process. Instead of avoiding these moments, embrace them. Use difficult questions as opportunities to deepen your learning. Admit when you do not know something and commit to finding the answer. This humility builds respect and models a growth mindset for others. Teaching is not about being perfect. It is about being committed to progress and service. This habit separates those who merely consume knowledge from those who create value. When you teach, you become part of a network of learners and leaders. You contribute to a culture of growth that elevates everyone involved. This mindset and practice prepare you to face challenges with confidence. You develop resilience because your learning is active, social, and purposeful. Teaching daily or regularly keeps you ahead of most people because it demands more from your mind and heart. Visualize your future self as a person who shares knowledge generously and effectively. This version of you is respected, confident, and constantly growing. They solve problems quickly because they understand deeply. They influence others because they communicate clearly. Becoming that person requires action starting now. Use every learning opportunity as a chance to teach. Make sharing knowledge a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. This commitment is a defining characteristic of those who rise above average and create meaningful success. The journey of teaching what you learn changes everything. It turns passive learning into active mastery. It builds skills that reach far beyond the original material. It connects you to others and opens doors to new possibilities. This habit is not a luxury but a necessity for anyone who wants to grow fast and stay ahead. When knowledge becomes a shared experience, it becomes alive and powerful. Use this power to transform yourself and those around you every day. Chapter 7. Replace entertainment with self-improvement content daily. The truth is, many people spend hours every day consumed by entertainment that does not add to their growth or future. Whether it is scrolling through endless social media posts, binge-watching shows, or playing games that keep the mind passive, this habit drains precious time without building anything meaningful. This is the reality most face. It is easy to get caught up in the comfort of entertainment because it offers instant gratification and distraction from daily struggles. But the cost of this habit is high. Time wasted cannot be reclaimed, and this lost time is what separates those who advance in life from those who stay stuck. Replacing entertainment with content that improves you is not about giving up enjoyment. It is about choosing your fuel wisely. Just as a car runs better on quality fuel, your mind performs better when fed knowledge and ideas that move you forward. This means intentionally selecting what you watch, listen to, or read so it builds your skills, mindset, or understanding of the world. This daily practice shapes your future by changing how you think and what you value. It leads to small gains every day that accumulate into massive results over time. The first step is awareness. Most people do not realize how much time they spend on entertainment that leaves them feeling drained or distracted rather than energized or inspired. Awareness means tracking your habits honestly. Notice how you spend your breaks, evenings, or free time. Observe what emotions you feel after hours of entertainment. Often it is boredom, restlessness, or guilt. These feelings are signs that your mind craves something more nourishing. Once you recognize this, you can start making deliberate choices to shift your consumption towards self-improvement content. Self-improvement content is wide-ranging and flexible. It can be motivational talks, educational videos, podcasts that teach skills, interviews with successful people, or books and articles that challenge your thinking. The key is that it aligns with your goals and pushes you to grow. The best content leaves you feeling energized to take action, not just entertained for a moment. This kind of material builds habits, inspires discipline, and expands your awareness. It connects you with ideas and people who can influence your future positively. Changing this habit is difficult at first because entertainment is designed to keep you hooked. It offers quick emotional rewards that your brain craves. Self-improvement content requires more mental effort and patience to see results. This initial resistance is normal. It feels uncomfortable to break old routines. But discomfort is a sign of growth. Embracing this challenge trains your focus and discipline. Over time, the new habit becomes easier and more rewarding. Your mind becomes sharper and more motivated because it is fed quality input instead of noise. Another advantage of replacing entertainment with growth content is that it expands your vocabulary and communication skills. Consuming ideas and stories from experts and leaders enhances how you express yourself. It improves your confidence in conversations and decision-making. This is important because clear thinking and communication open doors in both personal and professional life. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with knowledge and conviction. This skill is developed by daily exposure to meaningful content. It is also important to create a routine that supports this change. Set specific times during the day when you will engage with self-improvement materials. This could be during your commute, lunch break, or before bedtime. Having a schedule reduces the chance of slipping back into passive entertainment. Prepare a playlist or a list of topics you want to explore. This preparation makes it easier to stay consistent. Consistency is the secret ingredient because progress in growth depends on repeated effort over time. The quality of the content you choose matters. Seek out sources that have proven value and are aligned with your goals. Avoid content that only superficially inspires or distracts. Look for creators who deliver clear, actionable advice backed by experience and results. Engaging with this kind of content develops critical thinking. You learn to evaluate ideas rather than accept everything at face value. This skill protects you from misinformation and helps you make wiser choices in life. Replacing entertainment with self-improvement also impacts your emotional state. Positive, empowering content shifts your mindset from negativity or complacency to hope and possibility. It reminds you that you have control over your life and future. This emotional shift fuels motivation and persistence. It builds resilience against setbacks and distractions. The feelings generated by quality content encourage you to take responsibility and act rather than wait passively for change. This habit transformation requires patience. You will face moments when old habits tempt you back. When boredom strikes or stress hits, the urge to seek easy entertainment is strong. Recognize these moments as tests of your commitment. Use them to reinforce your goals and remind yourself why you chose growth over distraction. Overcoming these moments builds mental toughness and discipline. It shapes a mindset that prioritizes long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. Sharing this new habit with others amplifies its power. When you discuss what you are learning or experiencing with friends or family, you reinforce your commitment. You may inspire others to join you in seeking growth. This creates a supportive environment that makes the habit easier to maintain. The social aspect of learning and growing together strengthens your motivation and accountability. Imagine the person you will become by consistently feeding your mind with self-improvement content instead of empty entertainment. You will have knowledge that many lack. You will have developed habits of focus, discipline, and action. Your conversations and decisions will reflect this growth. Doors will open because you bring value and insight. This transformation is within reach for anyone willing to make the choice every day. The difference between those who rise and those who stay average is how they manage their time and what they allow into their minds. Replacing passive entertainment with intentional learning is a powerful choice. It requires courage to break old patterns, but rewards you with control over your future. This choice is a daily commitment to yourself and your dreams. It builds a foundation for success that no one can take away. Your future is shaped by what you feed your mind right now. Choose content that educates, inspires, and empowers. Let go of distractions that waste your time and energy. Make self-improvement a priority every single day. This habit separates you from the crowd and puts you on a path of constant growth and achievement. It is not about perfection but progress. Every small decision counts. Your daily choices define who you will become. Chapter 8. Follow one thought leader and study their ideas. It is easy to feel lost when trying to improve yourself because the amount of information out there can be overwhelming. Many jump from one idea to another, chasing every new trend or piece of advice without truly absorbing any of it. This approach leads to confusion and frustration. The truth is that progress comes from focused, consistent learning, not scattered attention. Following one thought leader closely and studying their ideas deeply can transform your growth in ways scattered efforts never will. This focused approach brings clarity, depth, and practical insight into your personal development journey. People struggle with choosing what to focus on because they want quick results and are afraid to miss out. This fear leads to bouncing between multiple sources, often repeating the same surface-level lessons without real change. When you commit to following one expert, you open the door to understanding their philosophy thoroughly. You begin to see how their ideas connect and build on each other. This connection gives your learning structure and meaning. It turns random facts into a roadmap for improvement. Choosing the right thought leader is essential. This person should represent values, success, and knowledge you respect and want to emulate. They do not have to be famous, but their content must consistently challenge and inspire you. Their experience and results should resonate with your goals. Following someone who has walked the path you want to take provides a guide through the complexities of growth. It is like having a mentor whose wisdom you can access anytime through their teachings. Studying a thought leader's ideas requires more than just passive consumption. It demands active engagement. Reading their books, listening to their talks, watching their interviews, and analyzing their strategies are part of this process. Each encounter with their material should be purposeful. Take notes, question what you hear, and reflect on how it applies to your life. This practice builds critical thinking and deeper understanding. It prevents you from merely accepting advice blindly and empowers you to adapt lessons to your unique circumstances. This deep dive into one thought leader's work sharpens your focus. It reduces the noise of conflicting opinions and helps you build confidence in your path. Confidence grows when you have a clear framework to follow. It removes hesitation caused by uncertainty. When you understand the reasoning behind principles and see how they have worked for others, you trust the process more. This trust motivates persistent effort even when challenges arise. Consistency in following one expert also allows you to witness progress over time. Early lessons may seem simple or difficult, but as you revisit concepts, you notice new layers of meaning. The ideas become more relevant as you grow. This evolving relationship with knowledge mirrors how real learning happens. It is not a one-time event, but a continuous unfolding. This perspective helps you stay patient and committed, knowing that growth comes through repetition and refinement. The emotional connection to a thought leader's message is powerful. When you identify with their struggles and triumphs, you feel supported in your own journey. Their success stories serve as proof that change is possible. This emotional fuel sustains motivation when obstacles make you want to quit. It reminds you that you are not alone and that the path to improvement, while challenging, is worthwhile. This connection turns learning from a task into a meaningful experience. Studying one person's ideas in depth also helps you avoid misinformation and distraction. The internet is full of noise and conflicting advice that can confuse and demoralize. A clear, trusted voice cuts through this clutter. It becomes your anchor in a sea of options. This anchor steadies your progress and guides your decisions. It prevents wasted time chasing ineffective or harmful ideas. Quality over quantity is the principle here. The value lies in mastery of well-chosen insights rather than superficial exposure to many. This approach builds a habit of reflection and application. You do not just consume knowledge, you test it in your daily life. You watch how adopting certain habits or mindsets changes your results. This experimentation deepens your understanding and builds your skill. Over time, you learn to internalize lessons until they become natural ways of thinking and acting. This internalization is where true transformation happens. It moves learning from theory to lived reality. Following one thought leader also makes your learning more efficient. Instead of spending time deciding what to study next, you have a clear path. This saves mental energy and reduces overwhelm. With a focused source, you can plan your learning schedule around their material. This structure creates momentum. Momentum is essential for sustained progress because it turns effort into a habit. Once habit forms, growth continues even when motivation dips. Sharing what you learn from your chosen thought leader strengthens your grasp on their ideas. Teaching or discussing concepts with others requires you to organize your thoughts clearly. This process reveals gaps in your understanding and motivates you to deepen your study. It also connects you with like-minded individuals who support your growth. This social aspect of learning builds community, which is a powerful resource in any journey toward success. The reality of personal growth is that it is not a quick fix. It requires patience, discipline, and smart effort. Following one thought leader and studying their ideas offers a practical way to channel this effort effectively. It gives you a mentor's guidance without geographic or financial barriers. It provides a steady stream of knowledge that challenges and motivates. It creates a foundation on which you can build your skills, mindset, and vision for the future. This method also teaches you the value of lifelong learning. No matter how much you achieve, there is always more to discover and improve. Following a thought leader shows you that growth is a journey without an endpoint. It keeps your mind open and humble, ready to evolve with new insights. This mindset protects you from stagnation and complacency. It positions you to seize opportunities that come with continuous learning. Imagine how much faster you will grow when you stop jumping around and start digging deep with one trusted guide. Your progress becomes clearer and more rewarding. You feel less overwhelmed and more in control. Your confidence and competence expand as you master ideas that others only skim. This focused dedication puts you ahead of the majority who scatter their attention and waste their potential. The choice to follow one thought leader and study their ideas is a choice to take control of your learning journey. It is a commitment to depth rather than breadth. It is an investment in your future self that pays dividends over time. This strategy transforms chaos into clarity and confusion into confidence. It is a powerful way to educate yourself every day and stay ahead of 99% of people who do not apply this principle. Chapter 9. Practice active recall after every learning session. Most people believe learning is simply about reading or listening to information once and hoping it sticks. The reality is harsh. Without actively retrieving what you have learned, most of the information fades away quickly. It disappears before you can use it to improve your life. This is the truth that many overlook. Learning without recall is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole. No matter how much you pour, the knowledge slips through unless you actively hold on to it. This is where the power of active recall steps in. It is the tool that separates those who truly master knowledge from those who just skim the surface. The hard fact is this: your brain is not designed to store everything effortlessly. You must work with it. You have to pull out what you just learned from memory instead of passively reviewing notes or rereading pages. This process creates stronger mental connections and helps move information from short-term to long-term memory. The act of recalling information is what builds mastery. Without it, what you learn today may vanish by tomorrow. Many people avoid active recall because it feels difficult and uncomfortable. Trying to remember something without looking at the answers is challenging, but that discomfort is the sign of real growth. It means your brain is working hard and forming new pathways. Every time you push yourself to remember key points, your ability to retain information increases. Over time, this effort becomes easier and your mind becomes sharper. You develop a memory muscle that strengthens your learning. Active recall is not just about memorizing facts. It is about understanding and being able to explain concepts in your own words. This deepens comprehension and allows you to apply knowledge effectively. When you practice recall, you test whether you truly grasp the material or if you only recognize it when prompted. Recognition is easy, recall is hard. But recall is what makes knowledge yours. One effective method to practice active recall is to pause after each learning session and write down everything you remember. Do this without looking at your notes or the source material. The goal is to bring as much information to mind as possible. This exercise forces your brain to retrieve data and strengthens neural pathways. You will notice that even if you cannot remember everything, the effort improves your overall retention. Later, you can review what you missed, but the initial recall is what matters most. Another powerful way is to ask yourself questions about what you just learned. Turn headings or main points into questions. Answering these questions from memory makes your learning interactive. This approach also reveals gaps in understanding that you can address immediately. Active questioning keeps your mind engaged and transforms passive intake into active knowledge building. Repetition is key in active recall. Revisiting your recalled notes periodically helps reinforce the material. Spaced repetition, which means reviewing information at increasing intervals, maximizes memory retention. This technique leverages the way the brain strengthens connections over time with repeated exposure. When combined with active recall, spaced repetition creates a robust learning system that keeps knowledge fresh and accessible. The emotional impact of practicing active recall is significant. Initially, it may feel frustrating because you cannot remember everything right away. This frustration is normal and should be expected. However, pushing through this challenge builds resilience and self-discipline. You begin to trust your ability to learn and remember complex information. This confidence spills over into other areas of life, making you more effective in problem-solving and decision-making. Practicing active recall also improves focus and concentration. When you commit to pulling information from memory, your brain stays alert and engaged. This level of focus is often missing in passive learning methods like watching videos or reading without interaction. Active recall turns learning into an exercise rather than a passive activity. This change in mindset boosts productivity and enhances the quality of your study time. Most people underestimate how much forgetting happens after they finish studying. The forgetting curve shows that without reinforcement, much of what you learn is lost within days or weeks. Active recall fights this natural decline. It keeps your mind active and your knowledge alive. This ongoing effort separates those who make lasting progress from those who stay stuck in cycles of fleeting information. In practical terms, practicing active recall after every learning session means carving out time for reflection. Whether you spend 10 minutes or 30, the act of revisiting what you have learned is crucial. It is a habit that pays dividends by turning learning into real growth. This habit transforms casual learners into lifelong students who constantly improve and adapt. Imagine how much more effective your learning becomes when you regularly challenge your brain to remember key ideas. You will retain more, apply more, and move faster toward your goals. The satisfaction that comes from mastering new skills and knowledge is unmatched. It fuels motivation and builds momentum for continued self-education. Active recall is a simple yet powerful strategy that anyone can use immediately. It requires no special tools or technology, only the willingness to engage fully with what you learn. This willingness makes the difference between those who fall behind and those who stay ahead of 99% of people who neglect this practice. By embracing active recall, you take control of your learning process. You turn information into understanding and understanding into action. This process creates a strong foundation for success in any area you choose. It is a skill that grows with use and rewards persistence with lasting results. Practicing active recall after every learning session is one of the smartest investments you can make in your future. Chapter 10. Set a daily learning goal and track progress. In life, it is easy to get distracted, to feel overwhelmed by endless tasks, and to lose sight of what really matters. This is the exact reason why many people never reach their potential. Without clear goals, their efforts scatter like dust in the wind. Learning without direction becomes a random activity without measurable results. The harsh reality is that without setting daily learning goals, most people drift aimlessly through their day, missing out on the power of consistent progress. Goals give purpose to learning. They create focus. When a person knows exactly what they want to achieve each day, every action gains meaning and momentum. Setting a daily learning goal is not about overwhelming yourself with a mountain of tasks. It is about making a deliberate choice to grow in a specific area. This might be understanding a new concept, practicing a skill, or absorbing key information. The important part is the daily commitment. When you decide to learn something every day with intention, you take control of your future. This steady progress builds confidence and opens doors that remain closed to those who wait for motivation to strike or for perfect conditions to arrive. A well-defined daily goal works like a compass. It keeps you on track and prevents wasted time. Many people underestimate how often their focus wanders. One minute they start reading about a topic, and the next they are distracted by social media or unrelated tasks. Without a goal, the mind lacks direction and settles for fragments of information that do not add up to real knowledge. A daily goal sharpens the mind, making every minute count. It transforms learning from a passive habit into a powerful tool for advancement. Tracking progress is equally essential. Many set goals but fail to record what they achieve. Without tracking, there is no clear picture of how far you have come or what needs more attention. This absence of feedback leaves effort disconnected from results. Progress tracking creates a feedback loop. It shows wins and reveals areas that require more focus. This awareness drives motivation and provides a sense of accomplishment that fuels continued effort. Keeping a simple journal or checklist is an effective way to track daily learning. Writing down what you aim to learn and what you actually covered makes the process concrete. This physical record is a reminder of your commitment and a motivator to push further. When you look back, you see the steady climb, and this builds momentum that keeps you moving forward even on days when enthusiasm fades. Many people think setting daily goals and tracking progress is tedious or time-consuming. The reality is the opposite. Investing a few minutes each day in planning and reflection pays huge dividends. It creates discipline and turns vague intentions into clear actions. This consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. A daily learning goal also combats procrastination. When the goal is clear, the temptation to delay or skip learning diminishes. You know exactly what you need to do, making it easier to start. Small daily victories accumulate quickly, creating a sense of pride and motivation that drives further action. This approach also helps manage overwhelm. When you break down big ambitions into small daily goals, growth becomes manageable. Instead of facing a huge mountain, you climb one step at a time. This keeps your mind calm and focused. The steady pace builds endurance and creates habits that last a lifetime. Daily goals encourage intentionality. Learning becomes a deliberate choice rather than a passive occurrence. This shifts your mindset from "I should learn someday" to "I will learn today." This simple change in attitude has a profound effect on your life trajectory. It puts you in the driver's seat, steering your future with purpose. Another benefit of tracking learning is identifying patterns. You discover what times of day you are most productive and what methods work best for you. This self-awareness allows you to optimize your learning routine. It transforms random efforts into a personalized system that maximizes results and minimizes wasted time. For many, the journey of self-education can feel lonely or unstructured. Setting daily goals and tracking progress builds a framework that guides your journey. It provides a clear map to follow. This structure builds confidence and reduces anxiety about where to focus your energy. In moments of doubt, your progress record serves as proof of your dedication and growth. When challenges arise, looking back at how far you have come reminds you that you are capable of overcoming obstacles. This builds resilience and keeps you committed to your path. Daily learning goals create momentum that extends beyond education. The discipline you develop spills over into other areas of life. You become more organized, motivated, and effective. This ripple effect improves your career, relationships, and personal well-being. The truth is, most people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack consistent direction. Setting a daily learning goal and tracking progress gives you that direction. It creates a reliable system for growth that anyone can use regardless of background or current skill level. This method also creates a powerful habit loop. The habit of setting a goal, taking action, and reviewing results trains your brain to seek improvement. Over time, this habit becomes automatic. You do not have to force yourself. Learning becomes part of your daily routine. Every day you invest in learning with clear goals is a step ahead of 99% of people who ignore this practice. The gap between those who succeed and those who do not is often found in this simple difference. It is not about learning more in one day, but about making every day count toward your growth. To use this strategy effectively, choose goals that are specific and achievable. Avoid vague targets like "learn something new." Instead, set clear objectives such as "understand 3 key points from a chapter" or "practice 1 new technique." Specific goals make it easier to measure progress and keep your mind focused. Regularly review your goals and progress. Adjust them as you improve or when your interests shift. This flexibility keeps your learning relevant and engaging. It prevents boredom and burnout, making your educational journey sustainable. Visual reminders of your goals and progress can be powerful motivators. Using charts, apps, or notebooks keeps your commitment visible. This visibility encourages accountability and strengthens your resolve. In the end, setting daily learning goals and tracking progress is about taking responsibility for your own growth. It is about recognizing that your future depends on what you do today. No one else can do this for you. The power to learn and improve lies within your hands, waiting for you to seize it. This practice turns the overwhelming task of self-education into a manageable and rewarding journey. It transforms wishful thinking into deliberate action. The result is steady progress that leads to meaningful success and fulfillment. By making a daily goal and tracking your learning, you build a foundation for lifelong growth. You become someone who does not just hope for change, but creates it through steady, focused effort. This is the secret that keeps you ahead of 99% of the people who neglect this simple but powerful strategy.